No, I wanted to talk a little bit about Kate McKinnon. Folks, it was funny actually when I mentioned this on Twitter the other day. Some people even asked me who she was, which goes to prove the underlying point of what I'm about to talk about, which is don't assume that because you and your friends know something, it's widely known. It's interesting. Sometimes things are widely known because you're an idiot if you don't know about it. Sometimes things are only widely known in your circles and you don't realize that it hasn't gotten wider. But Kate is the woman on Saturday Night Live who does the Hillary Clinton impression. She also does famously the Jeff Sessions, Attorney General Jeff Sessions impression, and does a lot of other people too. This weekend she did Betsy DeVos, the Education Secretary, and maybe I'll start with Mark playing a little bit of her Education Secretary Betsy DeVos impersonation. This was a response to DeVos doing this horrific 60 Minutes interview last week with Leslie Stahl, or maybe a week ago, where she was just a blithering idiot. And Leslie was asking her stuff that wasn't that hard. Like, oh, so, you were a big education person in Michigan. Did you ever go to any bad schools in Michigan? No. You think maybe you should have? I think maybe I should have. And you're like, lady, who are you? It was like watching Fargo, but with like a Michigan accent instead of North Dakota. But anyway, so Kate McKinnon did a little bit of an impersonation of that interview that is on SNL this weekend. Look at it if you've got it, or I'm sure it's on YouTube or somewhere. But one thing, it was kind of interesting. So this lesbian writer or somebody tweets out something. She was having a fight with somebody, I don't know, on Twitter, but having a fight with somebody about Saturday Night Live, and was saying, well, gay men aren't the only gay people out there. I mean, I'm gay, so I can get into this. Gay men aren't the only gay people out there. We've got women representing us, and that's fine. Look at SNL. And I went, who on SNL is openly gay? What am I missing? At Saturday Night Live, what am I missing here? I said, and the fact that I don't know they're openly gay, are they really representing the gay community if I have no idea if they're gay? And I put, if a tree falls in the forest. But it's an interesting question for, and we'll get to this in a second too, but communities that are trying to, especially I would say like the transgender community, for example, communities that are lesser known, that what you do know, maybe you don't understand, right? Once upon a time, people thought gay people were pedophiles. I don't know. Now whatever you don't understand about transgender people, that the more people that come out, the more you know about, celebrities, etc., you get to know them and you go, oh, these are normal people just like me. So the visibility is important. And I simply said, like, who's gay on SNL that I didn't, that openly gay? And I'm thinking Leslie Jones or something. I was like, is she gay? Like, I have no idea. Well, so I get these angry tweets back. It's Kate McKinnon. She's a lesbian. And you should have known it. And then I was getting all these angry tweets about how I didn't know Kate McKinnon was gay. And I was like, well, first of all kind of was being careful because I was like, okay, just because people on Twitter tell me she's gay, does that mean she's gay? But enough people told me that I guess it's well known she's gay. But there's a couple things here. One of which was the point I just made that, if you're trying to show visibility to convince people that your community is actually normal people, then people need to actually know you're gay before they can actually say gay people are normal. Because otherwise, I thought Kate McKinnon was like a really funny straight lady, Not that I care, but I mean, it was, whatever. The second thing that was interesting was the number of people supportive, and I think there are people on the left who wrote me back and said, why does it matter? Who cares if she's gay? Why are you asking this? And I just, during the break, I even wrote back to somebody on Twitter when you guys were getting your commercial there, your very good commercial, that, the guy said to me the same thing, and I wrote back and I said, well, why does it matter? What does it matter? And I said, well, it doesn't matter, except that it does matter, so it does matter. And the point is, yeah, you're right, it doesn't matter if somebody's gay or straight, who cares? It's like being black or white, right? Who cares if somebody's black or white? Except that society cares if you're black and white, or black or white. Actually, they care if you're black and white too, like Obama. They care if you're gay. They care if you're trans. Some people accept you, other people don't. Other people discriminate against you. Other people pass laws. In Florida, they're trying to pass more laws in Florida, making it harder for gay people to adopt, right? We're still fighting that crazy battle. Transgender people, even worse. There's all sorts of battles with that they're not even allowed in the military. So people care, clearly, if you're trans, gay, black, Jewish, whatever. So, well, God, the Jewish, there's a play about the Holocaust going on in Maine right now, and the people putting on the play are getting hate mail from people that don't want to hear about Jews, right? I mean, it still matters if you're Jewish. So the point here is that because there are elements of society that are strong enough that care that you're a minority, or that care that you're a woman, right? That maybe want to discriminate you because you're a woman, or maybe want to sexually harass you treat you differently on the job, not hire you, fire you, want favors, whatever. Therefore, it is important for people to be open about who they are. Yes, women, fair enough, right? But in a women's case, I would say it's the same argument in the sense that it's important for women to stand up or to create an environment in which women feel they can stand up and talk about sexual harassment, talk about people who have bullied them, or not bullied them, but actually sexually harassed them on the job, right? Or discriminated against them on the job because they're women. You've got to create a culture where they're comfortable doing that so that the problem can be fixed. And it's the same thing with gay people, trans people, whatever. A lot of kids are growing up in parts of the country where it's still not okay to be gay and or trans. And for them to see role models like Kate McKinnon, they're able to say, my God, there's these stars, right? When I was growing up in the 90s, we didn't even have anybody on TV who was openly gay back in the 90s. The late 90s, we had Ellen DeGeneres. And her coming out was not only a big deal, but it was a very dangerous deal. People thought it was going to kill her career, right? So my generation already, I grew up in a vacuum. We just didn't have role models that we could look up to and say, wow, you can be gay and not be a pervert, not be crazy, not be hated. In any case, so I didn't want to make this sort of a whole gay segment, but it was interesting to me because it just, I had no idea she was gay. And it also, the sort of final point was it was also a Twitter lesson I wanted to have with people, which is just that. Don't assume just because you know something that everybody else knows it. And don't get pissed off at people who don't know what you know. Like you're not genetically born knowing who's gay, straight, or frankly, even who's black or white or trans, right? Half the people I follow on Twitter, even some of the celebrity types, journalists I follow, I don't know if they're black or white. I have no idea. So don't assume somebody knows that about somebody, and don't get mad at them when they don't know. And I'm probably old enough that I don't care about it, but you get to a certain age where you learn these things that you don't really care that people get pissed. But anyway, I think it's important. So, like I said, there were a number of little lessons in that segment, but when we come back, we are going to talk about Cambridge Analytica like I wanted to, and then talk about our Trump Crazy Watch update. So we'll be right back.